is April 8th, so we're back with another great stream this week. And today I'm going to be discussing the importance of Record Store Day, which is actually coming up here on April 12th, which is this coming Saturday. And basically, we're going to kind of go into why Record Store Day is pretty vital, especially nowadays when a lot of physical released music is kind of pushed to the side, at least by the industry. I think the real music lovers and fans still have a great appreciation for vinyl and CDs and even cassettes. All those physical forms of music are still very prevalent, and it's a very important way to support artists. Artists get a lot of revenue through still selling physical music more than they're going to get by you streaming their song. But as far as, Record Store Day itself, it's really about local communities and local independently owned record stores, which there are plenty out there in the United States and abroad. You probably know of one in your hometown. If not your hometown, somewhere very close to you, that it might have been around for years. You know what I mean? I actually just sold my vinyl to a shop in Oregon called Music Millennium, and it's actually the oldest record store in the Pacific Northwest. I believe it's probably been around, I think, since 1960, like 2 or 3. It's been around for over 50 years at this point. So there's a lot of shops like that. There's a lot of people that have just gotten started in the last few years. But overall, it's a great way to support local businesses, support artists. It's just great for everybody involved, for the fans and for shop owners. So Record Store Day is essentially dedicated to shedding light on that. But we're going to kind of go in more depth today and give you the real breakdown of, why Record Store Day is a thing and how you can support this coming week, or this coming weekend, which I think is super, super awesome. So we're going to be going through an article by an amazing page called Other Record Labels, who I've watched a lot of their videos on YouTube. Definitely go check them out. They're strictly for independent artists. When I was making my vinyl, they helped me out a lot. So I found a great article where they kind of break down, the importance of Record Store Day and, ways you can get involved. So it says the first Record Store Day was held on April 19th, 2008, and featured special releases from artists like The Flaming Lips, Death Cab for Cutie, and R.E.M. The event was such a huge success, with thousands of people visiting independent record stores across the country. In subsequent years, Record Store Day has grown in popularity and scope, with more and more artists releasing exclusive vinyl records and more record store participants. Record Store Day has a significant impact on the vinyl music industry, which has seen a resurgence in recent years. According to Nielsen Music, vinyl sales have increased by more than 1,000% since 2007, with more than 41 million records sold in the U.S. in 2022. I'm getting my prop pillow, guys. I forgot. Oh, man, my back is killing me. Record Store Day has played a key role in this resurgence, as it has helped to create a renewed interest in physical music and the unique experience of shopping for vinyl records in independent record stores. The event is also important to independent record labels, as it provides a platform for them to showcase their music and connect with fans. Many independent record labels release special vinyls during Record Store Day, and some have even started their own record stores in order to better promote their music. Record Store Day has become an important cultural event that celebrates the independent record store and the unique experience of shopping for physical music. It has helped to create a renewed interest in vinyl records and has a significant impact on the vinyl music industry. Additionally, it has provided platforms for independent record labels to connect with fans and promote their music. Record Store Day is a testament to the enduring appeal of physical music and the importance of supporting independent businesses like labels and shops. So that, in a nutshell, is pretty much how it came to be. So it's been going on for almost 20 years now. And that's the thing, I think each year, from what I've noticed, it has gotten a lot bigger and bigger. And I think it's because I'm connected now with more shops out there, and they're, in that mode of pushing Record Store Day. And around this time of year, you'll see posts that they do. Another article, this is kind of related, kind of not. Another article I'm going to leave you guys is by the official Record Store Day website, and it's the full scope and full history of Record Store Day. And they give a super in-depth breakdown about it, but they have an official site dedicated to this particular yearly event. I just want to do this one because it's a lot more narrowed down, and it covers some of the points that I specifically wanted to touch on. But just know in the YouTube replay, you're going to be able to see that link as well. So let's get into this article now. We're through the introduction. Let's kind of get into the body of this whole thing. What should record labels do on Record Store Day? Indie record labels can play a crucial role in promoting and supporting their local record stores, particularly on days like Record Store Day. Number 1, ask them in advance how your record label can help with RSD. Record labels should ask independent record stores in advance how they can help them out during Record Store Day. By doing this, they ensure that the store has the support they need to make the most of the event, and that any collaborative efforts are well planned and effective. Asking in advance also allows the store to prepare and plan for any promotions, special releases, or events that the label may be organizing, ensuring a smooth and successful Record Store Day for everyone involved. So this is specifically talking about if you own any type of label or collective, but it could just be you as an artist too, so keep that in mind, because that is what a lot of these local shops are looking for, is the independent talent, is the local talent. So even if you're not signed or you don't have a full label with artists signed to you, doesn't matter. If you're just one person, you can apply this stuff as well. If you're looking to have your own music featured in a local shop during Record Store Day, like I said, I'm kind of in the process of doing this now, not even with just local shops. This week specifically, I just today dropped off a few vinyls at the post office that are going to Wisconsin, to a record store there. And as long as they get there before the weekend, they're going to try to host the records for the weekend, for Saturday specifically, which I think is going to be pretty cool. So that's just a great example. I mean, that you don't have to be a full-on label. So even though it says label, just think about it from your own perspective. Think about it from how you would approach this as a musician specifically. Number 2 is create exclusive versions of your releases for local stores. Local indie record labels can create exclusive versions of their releases just for their local and nearby record stores by printing a limited number of vinyl copies or CDs with unique artwork, colored vinyl, or bonus tracks. This can create excitement among fans and encourage them to visit their local record store to purchase the exclusive release. It can also help to strengthen the relationship between the label, the record store, and the fans who support them. To me, this definitely makes sense if you are big in your local area. Like if you're doing a lot of shows, even if it's just like bar gigs or nightclubs or whatever it is, if you're gaining some buzz and traction and you can sell very well, I think it makes total sense to partner up with a record store and do some type of special release, because people in the area will already be familiar with you, and then you can not only tell them about this release, but you can shed light on that local business and say the only way you can get this is if you go there on record store day, or even if it's not on record store day specifically, you have to go there to get it. You know what I mean? So you have to direct people to that local business. And that's a great way to help, like it says, everybody involved in that whole process. Number 3, encourage your fans and followers to support the store. It's basically what I was just saying. Indie record labels can and should encourage their fan base to support their local record stores by regularly promoting and sharing information about the stores on social media and through email newsletters. They can also offer incentives for fans to visit the stores by providing the stores with a few free stickers, a few free records or stickers for a giveaway. By emphasizing the importance of supporting local businesses and creating a sense of community around physical music, indie record labels can help to keep the independent music scene thriving. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I was kind of getting at, is that, especially the local shops, the smaller shops, that's really what they're looking for. They're going to carry bigger artists because, they're going to be getting stuff from Discogs, and they're going to be getting trade-ins from people. But the real fabric of those businesses is the local music scene, and that's what makes each one specifically unique, is the fact that they carry different artists who are in the area, or maybe even beyond, that are independent. Number 4, celebrate the culture of Record Store Day. Record labels can use social media to celebrate the culture of Record Store Day, vinyl and record stores in general, by sharing photos and videos of in-store events, special releases, and exclusive merchandise. This can be done more than just locally. Celebrate the day on your social platforms, even if there's seemingly nothing in it for you or the record label. So yeah, I mean, just doing your part, you know what I mean? For example, one of my favorite stores in my area, it's called Erie Street Vinyl. It's in Massillon, Ohio. I had the owner, Samantha Heaton, on my podcast. She was a part of the Women's Appreciation Month last month in March. So we've had some rapport. I've given her some vinyls to sell in that record store. And she does a lot of push for Record Store Day for Erie Street. So what I'll do always, if I see her post about it, I'll just give a repost on Instagram just to let other people know that this event is taking place in the area. So if they're interested, they can go check it out. So just do your part. Like, you don't even have to make a big deal out of it. Just a simple repost can go a long way. Number 5. Ooh, forgot the water again, guys. I'm going to try to get through this, though. Nurture your relationship with your record label. Or record store, excuse me. Gotta get rid of the backrest. Indie record labels can nurture their relationship with their local record store on a year-round basis. And not just on Record Store Day, by supporting the store in various ways. This includes promoting the store and its events on social media, collaborating on other events throughout the year, offering special deals or discounts to customers who purchase from the store, and partnering on local initiatives that benefit the community. By working together and supporting each other, indie artists, or indie record labels, could be indie artists too, and stores create a strong and mutually beneficial relationship that helps to promote the independent music scene, keep the physical music industry alive. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. In a nutshell, what you're aiming to do is everybody supports everybody in this whole thing. The consumer, which is the fans, they get to go out to a local business and hopefully get some independent music. Maybe they'll get some bigger artists as well. But the whole thing is, a lot of stores, they're discounting everything across the board. So you're going to get some deals at these Record Store Day events as well. So you might be able to afford to walk away with a few different things. So if you're doing that, go ahead and get the bigger artist, but also look at the independent stuff too, because the independent stuff is what really kind of drives this whole thing. So just keep that in mind from a fan perspective, from the label slash artist. You have the opportunity to have your music featured in a local store, whether it's limited edition or it's just your normal release. So just get in touch with the record label or the record store, get in touch with the store, the owner, be professional. Like usually what I've been doing recently is just sending emails and just have it be very thorough, like say what you're looking for, but specifically talk about Record Store Day. Right now it's kind of last minute because it is coming up on Saturday. But if you're looking to do this next year even, I would recommend like second half of this year, toward the end of the year, maybe start researching how do I get involved in Record Store Day as an artist. Another thing, like I was just talking about Erie Street Vinyl, this is a good example. She will have local artists perform during the event, during the day. So if that's something you think you could do, get in touch about that too, because that's when the most people are going to be in those shops and the most traffic will be there on Record Store Day. So if you can perform during that event, a lot of new people are going to see you performing, and if you're good enough or if you're just intriguing to them, they're going to take notice of that and probably eventually figure out who you are and what you do and hopefully become a fan from there. So that's just something that just came to mind. But yeah, I would try to do that, and like I said, just try to get your vinyl, cassette, CD into a store and get that pushed out there and see what could come from that. And then as the record store themselves, obviously they benefit because they get more traffic that day. They get to push independent artists and they get to have a lot of people from the community support their business, but they also get to help people in the community through sharing great music and just good vibes throughout the day. So again, it's a great trifecta of awesome energy, and it does so much for, like we said, the physical music industry and just the independent artist scene in general. I'm trying to see what else they have on here. So on the other record labels website, under this article we just went over, they have a book called Record Store Day, and it's partnered with Official Record Store Day, the most improbable comeback of the 21st century. You could buy that book on Amazon. Let me see how much this book is. I might even look into getting this book because I need a new book to read. Let's see here. If it would load. Come on, load up. This book is pretty cheap. It's only $11.70 for the paperback, and if you want a Kindle version, $11.11. But that looks like a little insight on Record Store Day as well. So look into that too. But like I said, there's also that article by Record Store Day that I'm going to leave for you guys, where you can go a lot more in depth on this whole thing. And then the third article is by Wired. And let me check this one out real quick. I forget what this one is. But I wanted to find a few different ones that kind of go over the same thing. Theirs is called How to Have the Best Record Store Day. And it basically just gives a guide on, what they would consider the peak way to experience Record Store Day, which is a lot of what we kind of went over. But that's pretty much it. I mean, this one's not super long or drawn out. It's very simple. But it's just something I wanted to touch on, seeing as it is coming up this weekend. So again, if you're seeing this before April 12th, 2025, go out and support on Saturday. Most of these shops will be open throughout the day. They might even have extended hours because it's Record Store Day. But support independent music. Like, again, you can buy the big artists, cool, but you could buy those any day of the week. You can buy them pretty much anywhere. A lot of independent artists are not everywhere. You gotta go to these stores and support a local business, support a local artist. Just do your part. And like I said, even if you can't make it out to the event, just support by spreading the word. Let people know about it. So that way everybody can have a chance to experience it. But yeah, I thought that would be a cool thing to talk about. And in the future, might do more on this too, because I think it's super, super vital. But yeah, I hope this kind of sheds some light on Record Store Day and what it's all about. And I think it's just a great event to be able to have that still, even though we have a lot of access online. It's like that's something that is still vital to be able to have within our communities, and it shows how people still come together through the power of music. It's so powerful at the end of the day. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Next week is gonna be on April 15th, Tuesday again. We're gonna be talking about instrumental albums and pretty much my experience with doing instrumental projects as a producer, and also you know ways that can benefit you as a producer trying to also work with artists, how it can kind of give you some diversity and allow you to do a lot more as an artist, which I think is super cool. So yeah, again, thank you guys for checking this one out. Go out on Saturday, April 12th, and get some records and support some great local artists out there, no matter where you are. But until next week, thank you guys again for checking this one out. Stay safe, stay positive, all that good stuff. We'll see you next week. Take care, guys.